Not guilty of making his first wife disappear. Completely innocent of shooting his best friend and confidant in the back of the head. All a big misunderstanding when it came to cutting up the body of his neighbor and dumping him in the ocean. If you believe accused killer Robert Durst, he's just a very unlucky man, surrounded by tragedy. But now there have been some stunning new developments that could change everything.
Good morning, Mr. Durst. Mr. Durst is present.
A much more frail-looking Robert Durst is in a Los Angeles court to face charges on at least one of those crimes. And this time, it's his word against a secret witness who says Bob told him everything.
We're under an obligation of confidentiality as to the discovery.
It's a story that really began one cold January night more than 3 decades ago, when 29-year-old med student Kathleen Durst returned to the house she shared with her millionaire husband, Robert, and was never heard from again. Kathleen's friends and family immediately suspected who they called her abusive husband, Robert, but he told police she probably ran off with another man. His longtime friend, Susan Berman, backed up his story to the press, and the case quickly went cold. After 18 years without answers, new District Attorney Janine Pirro quietly reopened the case. Our Andrea Isom sat down with Pirro not long ago to discuss the outrageous series of events.
Kathleen Durst disappeared off the face of the earth, and the police were willing to just think, she probably ran off with another man. You know how these sluts are. I made the decision to reopen the case because I connected with this woman. She was in medical school about the time that I was in law school, and I knew that a woman weeks away from graduating from medical school is not just going to run off with another guy whose name no one knew, who no one could say, was even in her life.
But investigators couldn't prove anything, and the DA's office quietly began pursuing other leads. In particular, they wanted to talk to Durst's unofficial spokesperson, Susan Berman. Then, someone on Pirro's team leaked those intentions to the press.
Before you knew it, Susan Berman was dead.
One shot to the back of her head, executed in her Beverly Hills bungalow just 2 days before Christmas.
Of course he killed her, too. She was murdered to silence her. She was murdered because she knew too much. She was murdered because he knew we were coming.
But the only real clue is an anonymous letter sent to Beverly Hills police, the word Beverly misspelled, and a simple one-word message next to her address: cadaver. Then, in episode 5 of The Jinx, Susan's so-called adopted son uncovers a letter Durst wrote to Susan years before. On the front of the envelope, in big block letters, the word Beverly is misspelled, just like on the cadaver note. When confronted with the evidence, this was his reaction.
I mean, the writing looks similar and the spelling is the same, so I can see the conclusion the cops would draw, or the writing exemplar person would conclude they were both written by the same person.
And then, in the very final moments of the last episode, Robert Durst excuses himself to go to the restroom, forgetting his mic is still on. And that's when he says the words that would finally put him behind bars after years of speculation.
There it is. You're caught. What the hell did I do? Kill them all. Of course.
When he finally said, "Kill them all, of course," I said, "Of course you did, Robert. We knew it all along."
Just 1 day before the finale of The Jinx, Robert Durst was arrested for the first-degree murder of Susan Berman. He was caught in a New Orleans hotel with a fake ID, a loaded revolver, 5 ounces of marijuana, a latex mask, passports, a map of Cuba, and more than $42,000 in cash. For gun and drug charges related to that find, Durst pleaded guilty. But when it came to the execution of his former friend,
I do want to say here and now, though, I am not guilty. I did not kill Susan Berman.
an official plea from a now official suspect. Durst is set to go to trial for the first-degree murder of Susan Berman this October. And in a pretrial hearing just weeks ago, the prosecution delivered what could be a major blow to his case. A secret witness who says he knows exactly what Durst did, and not just to Berman.
Witnesses in this case, realistically, understandably, are concerned about their safety.
His name is Nathan Chavin, a close friend of Robert's, introduced to him by the woman he now stands accused of murdering. As Robert sat stone-faced in court, Chavin said that regarding Susan's killing, Robert told him, quote, "I had to. It was her or me. I had no choice." Then, in another bombshell, Chavin told the court that not long before Berman was shot, she told him what happened to Bob's first wife, Kathleen, saying, quote, "Susan said to me specifically that Bob killed Kathy." On cross-examination, Durst's lawyer suggested Chavin made the whole story up.
Bob is not guilty. He did not kill Susan Berman. He doesn't know who did, and he's eager to go to trial.
It will still be a few months before we learn what, if any, bearing this new witness will have on Robert Durst's future, or if his words may finally lead to answers in the disappearance of Bob's first wife, Kathy. But until then, former District Attorney Janine Pirro vows to remain a thorn in Durst's side.
It won't be done until Robert Durst is convicted and rots in jail. It won't be done until this guy has nothing to do but think about the people that he killed.